Hey everybody, today we are going over a review of things that you've learned in algebra. So I want you to pause this video and I want you to write this down. Notes are required. I am going to ask you to submit them at the end. So go ahead and pause the video and write these down. Okay, now that you've written these down, I want to go over some things with you. This is slope-intercept form. You have seen this in algebra. You use it if you're given a slope and a y-intercept, obviously. That's why it's called slope-intercept form. So in your equation, y equals mx plus b, m is your slope, b is your y-intercept, okay? Now this one, I have a lot of stars all around it for a reason. On your test, you're going to have a lot of equations that are in point-slope form. So I really need you guys to be familiar with point-slope form. Now that formula is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Now m is your slope, obviously, just like in the last one. So let's jot that down. That's your slope. And then if you're given some kind of point, it would be x1, y1. Say they give you a slope and they give you a point, you just need to plug in to your equation. So it would be y minus this number right here, y1, equals whatever slope that they give you, parentheses x minus this first number in the point. So you would use this form whenever they give you a point and a slope, hence the name point-slope formula. So highlight this, put stars around it because it's very important that you remember point-slope formula. Okay, so moving on. I put something like this, a blank copy, in your Google Classroom. Pause the video and find this, and if you can print it out, great. If not, follow along, but I want you to take notes on this. So it looks like this. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom into example number 1. So it says, write an equation in point-slope form of a line that passes through this point 4, 3, and it has a slope of 2. Okay, so we have to remember our formula first of all. Well, let's just identify the point first. 4, 3, that's our x1, y1, and our slope of 2, that means m is equal to 2. Well, remember that formula I told you to put a bunch of stars around. It was y minus y1 because it gave us a point and a slope, so we're going to use that point slope. X minus x1. So now we just have to plug in our values. All right, so y minus 3, because that's y1, equals 2x minus 4. And that's our final answer. All right, so go ahead and try this next example. It looks just like this one. All you have to do is plug in the slope and the point. Go ahead and try it. All right, now that you've had a chance to try it, let's do it together. This is x1, y1. Our slope is -6. Now our equation is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So we're just plugging in our stuff. Y minus -1 equals -6, x minus 7. Now we're almost done, but not quite done. If you take a look here, we have a minus, a negative. That becomes a positive. And then we just copy everything else down. All right, so if you notice, I want you to notice the point and the equation. If you look, my x value over here, it says -4. My x value is a positive 4. This is a -3, but up here it's a positive 3. Okay, how about over here? It says y plus 1. If I look at my y value over here, it's a -1. And then this one, -7, my x value is a positive 7. So as you notice, the point values, like this 4, 3, the signs change from our equation. If they're positive over here, in our equation, it's a minus. If it's positive here, it's a minus. If it's negative here, it's a positive. So just keep that in mind. Okay, here's our next example. Example number 2. We're going to graph this equation now. The way we're going to graph it is we are going to try to figure out the point and then the slope, and then we'll have to plot that on our graph. So our point, remember, it was x1, y1. Well, over here is my y1. Over here is my x1. But remember, we have to flip the sign, just like we did in our last examples. So my x1 would be positive 3. Positive 3 because this says minus 3. That means I have to change the sign. It's a positive 3. Over here it's a plus 2. So my y1 is going to be negative 2. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is plot that point. 1, 2, 3, negative 2. And then my slope, let me label it here, is 2 over 3. That means I have to go up 2, right 3. Up 2, right 1, 2, 3. There's my 2 points. I'm going to connect the line. And there it is. Didn't mean to go over. Okay, so this example is for you to try. I want you to tell me what the x1, y1 would be. All right, go ahead and tell me what x1, y1 would be. All right, so remember our y1 is over here. This is my slope. This is my x1. So my x1 would be negative 1 because we changed the sign. And my y1 would be positive 1 because we changed that sign. It says minus 1, so it's going to be a plus 1. All right, so I'm going to plot this point. Negative 1, positive 1 right here. My slope is 3 over 4, so I have to go up 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's my 2 points. Connect them, and you make a line. All right. Next example. This time they give us a graph. So they give us the graph and they say, hey, write the equation in point-slope form. So there's a way that we have to, well, they give us 2 points. We only need 1. We can pick either one. It doesn't matter. But if it's point-slope form, we have a point. We need the slope still. So let me zoom in and let's try to figure out the slope of this graph. Let me zoom in as far as I can. Tell me what the slope of this graph would be. All right, so let's figure it out. Down 1, 2. So we went down 2 and to the right 1, 2. Down 2, right 2. So my slope, negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. My slope is negative 1. Now for point slope, it doesn't matter which point I pick. We can pick either one, but I'm going to pick this one. It's 1, comma 1. 1, comma 1. So if I have 1, 1, that's my x1, y1. My slope is negative 1. I just have to put it all together. Negative 1. All right, so remember our formula. It's y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So let's put it all together. Y minus 1 equals negative 1 x minus 1. And that's my final answer. All right, your turn. You try this one right here. I'll zoom in as far as I can so you can find the slope. What is my point slope equation? All right, so now you've had a minute to work on this. Let's figure out the slope. It is positive, so it's going to go up 1, 2, 3, up 3, to the right 1. So the slope is 3 over 1, which is just 3. All right, you can pick either point. I'm just going to pick 2, 4. If you picked 1, 1, that's fine. But I'm going to go with 2, 4. Let me try to focus this. Yeah, I'm going to go with 2, 4. So if I use the point 2, 4, I'm going to put it up here, 2, 4. That's my x1, y1. So remember our formula is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So we just plug stuff in now. Y minus 4 equals 3x minus 2. All right, hopefully you got the same answer. Now our next example, it doesn't give us a graph, it just gives us 2 points, but that's okay because we need to use those 2 points to find the slope, right? So it's point slope formula. We have 2 points, doesn't matter which one we use, and we just need to find the slope now. So remember, we did that by, oops, scratch that out. We did that by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you just have to do a little subtraction. Negative 3 minus 3 over 1 minus negative 2. Where am I getting those? Right here. Negative 3 minus 3, 1 minus negative 2. When I simplify that, I get negative 6 over, this turns into a plus 3. Negative 6 divided by 3 is just negative 2. All right, so I have my slope. I just need to pick a point. It doesn't matter which one, but I'm going to pick this one right here. You can pick that one if you want. It really doesn't matter. So if I pick negative 2, 3, my x1 and y1 are labeled. Here's my formula again. I keep writing it over and over, and so should you. So that way you get used to it. Remember, notes are required. Okay, so I'm just going to plug stuff in now. Y minus 3 equals negative 2, x minus negative 2. I just need to do a little bit more simplifying. The minus and negative becomes a plus. So y minus 3 equals negative 2, x plus 2. All right, you're going to try this one. All right, now you've had a minute to try it. M is equal to, what am I doing? We have to subtract. 2 minus 4 over negative 1 minus negative 5. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Negative 1 plus 5, that's 4. Reduces to negative 1/2. So M is negative 1/2. I'm going to pick this point right here. So negative 5, 4, that's x1, y1. So let me rewrite my formula again because I want you guys to get used to it. Y minus y1, M, x1. Okay. So we just plug stuff in now. Y minus 4 equals negative 1/2 x minus negative 5. This minus negative just becomes a plus, so I'm just going to rewrite it. And there's your final answer.